Hi, welcome back to South Huron's climate change video series, Rising to the Challenge. Today's topic is valuing green infrastructure. My name is Tim Cumming. I'm Communications Specialist with Ausable Bayfield Conservation, and I'm also a proud member of South Huron's Climate Change Adaptation Committee. As ratepayers, we value infrastructure. We value streetlights, arenas, and roads. Well, our natural environmental features and the green infrastructure enhancements we add help us, and they're important infrastructure as well. Join us for this video presentation featuring Hope Brock and Tommy Kokas. I'm so pleased and so proud to introduce them to you, and we wish you luck in taking what they share today and putting it into action. Thank you.
My name is Hope Brock, and I'm a Healthy Watersheds Technician with the Ausable Bayfield Conservation Authority. Today I'm going to be speaking about green infrastructure, its benefits, what you can do on your own property, as well as providing some local examples. According to Green Infrastructure Ontario, green infrastructure is the natural vegetative systems and green technologies that collectively provide society with a multitude of economic, environmental, and social benefits. In the most simplistic terms, however, green infrastructure is the natural world around us. It can be naturally occurring, such as our forests, rivers, wetlands, and beaches. Green infrastructure can also be more constructed assets, such as rain gardens, which collect and infiltrate stormwater from roads and roofs. It is also permeable pavement, which allows water to drain through into the ground instead of running off the land. And it is also rain barrels and cisterns. When these are connected to downspouts, they collect and store rainwater from rooftops for future use. This water is great for plants and gardens, especially during prolonged dry periods. Green infrastructure can be found in both rural and urban areas. For example, soil and agricultural lands are green infrastructure. So are our grassed areas, our parks, and even our gardens. Together, all of these things form a system which functions to help slow down, provide storage, infiltrate, and allow evaporation of rain and snowmelt. And most importantly, green infrastructure does this where the rain falls or snow melts. This differs from traditional or gray infrastructure, such as storm sewers, which are usually designed to simply direct water from one location to another using impermeable surfaces. In addition to providing stormwater management, green infrastructure can also improve air and water quality, provide habitat, and enhance human health. It is a key component of climate resiliency planning and provides savings through reduced capital costs and maintenance of traditional stormwater systems. Green infrastructure is important because as we develop our landscape for both urban and agricultural purposes, the land becomes less permeable. This means it becomes less able to absorb or infiltrate rain or snowmelt into the ground. In an area with natural cover, 50% of our stormwater can be infiltrated, while only 10% runs off the land. In areas that have been developed and have more impervious cover, the infiltration rate drops to only about 15%, and we see 50% of the stormwater running off the land. Runoff is simply the water that runs off the surface of the land when it rains or when snow melts. As the water runs off the land, it picks up dirt, pet waste, fertilizers, pesticides, and bacteria, and carries them into our local creeks, rivers, and lake. Although the rain that runs off your house or property may seem fairly insignificant, it is the cumulative impact of rain running off of everyone's home, business, and farm that results in downstream water quality and quantity issues. Ultimately, what we do on our own properties has downstream impacts, and this is because we all live in a watershed. Let's take a look at the Upper Ausable watershed, which includes part of the Municipality of South Huron. All the water that falls on this land in the form of rain or snow eventually makes its way into small creeks or drains, then the Ausable River, and eventually into Lake Huron. Because water knows no boundaries, what we do on the land in South Huron can cause downstream erosion, flooding, and water quality issues in Lake Huron, where we all like to swim, fish, and get our drinking water. There are, however, actions or best management practices that you can take to hold back water on your own property. These actions can be categorized into avoid, which will improve filtration into the ground, control, which will help hold back water and release it slowly, and trap and treat, which holds and filters water. It is always best to employ actions in the avoid category first, which help to get water soaked into the ground where it lands. Using several actions together will increase the amount of water you can hold back on your property. For rural landowners, look at how you can increase infiltration through the use of minimum or no-till practices or the use of cover crops. These practices help increase soil organic matter, which in turn helps to hold more water in the soil. In fact, for every 1% increase in organic matter, soil can store up to 25,000 gallons of water per acre. This is equivalent to a backyard swimming pool. To further control water on your land, consider installing grass waterways or berms. These help slow down water and provide infiltration. Buffers or two-stage ditches should be considered in conjunction with the previous actions as a way to trap and treat water just before it reaches a creek or a drain. For urban homeowners or businesses, you can increase infiltration by having more natural cover on your property. Think more trees, shrubs, and garden areas. Less pavement allows more opportunity for water to soak into the ground. Perhaps you could use a permeable pavement option as well, which can take many different forms. Consider rain barrels and rain gardens at the end of your downspouts. Example rain gardens in the Municipality of South Huron have been installed at both Jessica's House and the Ausable Bayfield Conservation Administration Center. The first step in taking action is to look at your own property during a rain event and to watch where the water is flowing. Are there opportunities to hold back water? It might not seem like a lot, but individual actions leverage larger outcomes for both you and your community.
Hi everyone, my name is Tommy Kokas and I am a water resources engineer with the Ausable Bayfield Conservation Authority. As Hope just discussed, there are a number of green infrastructure measures and they come in various shapes, sizes, and purposes and can be classified as lot level, conveyance, or end of pipe controls. Green infrastructure is becoming increasingly important as we progress into a continuously urbanizing world with more gray infrastructure and impermeable surfaces, in addition to experiencing more extreme weather events and a changing climate. For the next part of the video, I'll be talking about some real-life applications of green infrastructure, or as others may know as low-impact development, and best management practices both at the urban and rural scale. The examples provided will all be within the Conservation Authority's watershed or neighboring areas. We'll start out at the Ausable Bayfield Administration Center, located in Exeter, Ontario. ABCA staff have worked closely together over the years to implement green infrastructure measures on site to reduce runoff and promote more infiltration of water into the ground. A rain garden was constructed on site where various plant species are planted by ABCA staff each year. A rain barrel has also been connected to a roof downspout on the one corner to collect and store water during a rainfall event. This water can then be used for irrigating the rain garden and other plantations when conditions are dry. Now moving just north of Exeter to a small town called Hensall. In 2018, the ABCA worked very closely with Thompson's Limited and the Municipality of Bluewater on transforming a grass swale into a large rain garden to promote more infiltration of stormwater runoff from the adjacent gravel parking lot. For larger projects such as this, a considerable amount of time goes into properly designing the rain garden to ensure it functions as it is intended to. Some of the first steps included surveying the area and locating any water or gas lines. The next steps were to then determine the drainage area and calculate the amount of runoff draining to the swale during a typical storm event. With this information, the dimensions and specifications of the swale could be determined using low impact development design guidelines. Rain gardens typically consist of a thin layer of mulch on top of an engineered soil mix, rather than native soil, to promote more infiltration of water. For this specific project, a riser was also added to the storm grate to allow for more ponding and infiltration during an event. This project not only aimed to improve the quality of runoff and reduce the quantity going into the storm sewer, but also provided an excellent education opportunity for children at a local elementary school. A planting day was organized that involved multiple ABCA staff members, where it gave the chance for the students to learn about the purpose and positive impacts of rain gardens. It also allowed the students to have some hands-on fun and plant various species themselves. The next photograph was actually taken during an intense rainfall event in July of 2018. As you can see, rain was able to pond in the garden, promoting more infiltration of water and less runoff into the storm drain. It is important to note that rain gardens such as these require periodic inspections and maintenance to ensure they continue to function as they are designed to. Continuing to move north to a town called Clinton, ABCA staff worked closely with the Municipality of South Huron and BM Ross in 2017 to incorporate more green infrastructure at Sloman Park as part of a road rework. The new grading and curb cut design that was incorporated into the final plan allows stormwater to drain from the road, across a grassed waterway, and into a rain garden, which has been engineered with an under drain as well. The remaining filtered water then outlets from the rain garden to the Bayfield River close by. This project successfully implemented a treatment train approach through the use of multiple green infrastructure measures in line with each other. Not only has the quantity of stormwater draining into the storm sewer been reduced, but the quality of water has been improved by promoting more infiltration on site. Also in the town of Clinton, there is a large demonstration farm called Huron View. This project was and has been a massive collaboration between multiple organizations and landowners to provide examples of various agricultural best management practices. Notably, the use of terraces to hold back and control runoff, reduced tillage to improve water infiltration, vegetative strips for directing water to outlets with reduced erosion, and constructed wetlands for promoting quantity control, quality control, and a natural habitat for a number of species. ABCA staff have several monitoring points at this location where they take frequent samples to determine water quality improvements over time. A demo day was held in June of 2019 to showcase these best management practices to the public. For those interested in learning more about this site, viewers can find more information online at huronview.net. Moving west to the shores of Lake Huron, we reach Bayfield, where there has been a collaborative effort over the years between homeowners, community groups, the Municipality of Bluewater, and other organizations to showcase a number of green infrastructure measures. There is a self-guided walking tour available to the public that provides examples of green infrastructure such as rain gardens, permeable pavement, rain barrels, and grass ditches. However, it is important to note that most of these are located on private property, but can be viewed from the roadside. I wanted to include a short talk on what we typically see at the subdivision level as well. With the stormwater management plans, wet ponds are commonly proposed as they are able to handle large quantities of runoff for flood protection and meet enhanced water quality protection. Stormwater initially drains into the pond, where the forebay slows down the flow of water and allows sediment to slowly settle down to the bottom. Over time, the cleaner water is then released through an outlet to a natural water course. These are one of the best end-of-pipe solutions for controlling and treating stormwater runoff on a larger scale. The addition of lot level and conveyance controls on private properties are particularly impactful in these types of situations, as they help to reduce the amount of runoff entering the stormwater pond in the first place, which in turn helps to lower maintenance costs and elongate the effectiveness of the pond. Now going east of the Ausable Bayfield watershed is the Upper Thames River Conservation Authority. The administration centre located in London is an excellent example of where multiple green infrastructure measures have been implemented on a much larger urban scale. This site has been developed with a focus on restoring a minimum of 50% of the site area as natural habitat to promote biodiversity and provide open space for staff members. The landscaping is comprised of native and adaptive species that do not require irrigation, saving water and minimizing maintenance. The garden area near the main entrance is the roof of an underground storage room. This green roof is planted with sedums and other low maintenance plants that can tolerate typical dry conditions. The green roof, along with trees planted in and around the parking lot, help to cool the local microclimate in the summer, creating a more comfortable outdoor environment for employees and wildlife. The stormwater management system includes a gravel parking lot, grass swale, and a pond. This system has eliminated the need for a storm sewer on site, reducing overall costs and improving the quality of runoff water. Grass swales and wetland vegetation help to stop erosion and remove suspended sediments and pollution from stormwater that flows overland into the pond. The pond then retains and cleans stormwater on site before it outlets into the Thames River. By reducing the speed and volume of stormwater and improving stormwater quality, this method helps to protect downstream waterways. So these are some real-life applications of green infrastructure that have occurred within the Ausable Bayfield watershed or neighboring areas. While most of these are on a much larger scale than would be typically seen on private properties, they demonstrate different applications of green infrastructure, the capabilities, and positive impacts they have on our environment. I would like to thank everyone for taking the time to watch this video. We hope it was resourceful and that it motivates viewers to implement some sort of green infrastructure on their property. No matter how small scale green infrastructure measures get, they all make a difference in improving water quality and adapting to our changing climate. Useful links where you can learn more about green infrastructure and some of the examples that were discussed will be provided at the end of the video. Please feel free to reach out to either Hope or myself at the ABCA anytime with any questions or comments you may have. Thanks, everyone.
To learn more about what you heard in this presentation, please visit any of the following websites or contact Ausable Bayfield Conservation.